BRAINY presents 6 Ways Misinterpretation is Ruining Your Relationships. Misinterpretation is like a slow poison for relationships. It creeps in unnoticed, turning small issues into dramatic fights. And before you know it, you're questioning everything. One moment, everything's fine. The next, you're convinced your best friend hates you, or your partner is plotting an escape. It's absurd, but we all do it. We take an offhand comment the wrong way, assume silence means anger, and before long, we're reacting to things that don't even exist. The worst part? We believe our misinterpretations are facts rather than assumptions. If you've ever caught yourself fuming over a text message that sounded cold, or felt like someone's tone meant more than it actually did, then you're guilty of this too. So let's break it down. Here's how misinterpretation is quietly screwing up your relationships, and what you can do to stop it. Number 1, projecting past experiences. Your past relationships shape how you interpret present interactions. If you've been lied to before, you might instinctively question honesty. If you've been abandoned, you might misread small signs of distance as a sign someone is pulling away. The problem is you're applying an old wound to a new person, someone who hasn't actually done anything to deserve that assumption. Holding on to past pain creates suspicion and can prevent healthy relationships from flourishing. So before reacting, take a breath and ask yourself, is this about them or is this about my past? Give people the benefit of being seen for who they are. Healing from past experiences and learning to trust again takes time, but giving yourself a fresh start with each new person is essential to building stronger relationships. Number 2, lack of clarification. Conversations go off track fast when we don't take the time to clear things up. Instead of asking for an explanation, we convince ourselves we already know what the other person meant. And shocker, we're usually wrong. A misunderstood text, an unclear statement, or an awkward pause can end in frustration when a simple clarification would have solved everything. Want to stop the nonsense? Just ask. If someone says something that doesn't sit right, instead of inventing a worst-case scenario in your head, say, "Hey, what did you mean by that?" Life gets a whole lot easier when you don't have to constantly decode people's intentions. Number 3, dismissing someone's feelings. Telling someone they're overreacting or making them feel like their feelings are not a big deal is one of the fastest ways to make them shut down. You might not understand why something upsets them, but that doesn't mean their emotions aren't valid. Just because it wouldn't bother you doesn't mean it shouldn't bother them. A better approach? Acknowledge their emotions instead of dismissing them. Even if you don't fully understand, a response like, "I see why that upset you," or "I appreciate you sharing how you feel," can go a long way in strengthening trust and connection. Validating emotions builds emotional security and encourages open, honest conversations that result in deeper, more fulfilling relationships. Number 4, forgetting that some people are bad at expressing themselves. Look, not everyone is a great communicator. Some people struggle to put their thoughts and emotions into words, causing awkward conversations or unintentional coldness. Misinterpreting this as rudeness or lack of interest can push people away who genuinely care but just don't know how to express themselves well. Instead of assuming the worst, give people a little grace. If someone's words seem blunt or lacking emotion, consider their personality before taking it personally. Again, ask for clarification and, if needed, help them feel more comfortable opening up. Recognizing that not everyone communicates the same way can considerably improve your relationships. Number 5, assuming they should just know what's wrong. Expecting people to read your mind is a recipe for frustration. If you're upset about something but don't express it, how can the other person possibly fix it? Assuming they should just know ends in unspoken resentment and unnecessary conflict. The solution? Speak up. Clearly state what's bothering you instead of expecting the other person to guess. Healthy relationships thrive on honest communication, not silent expectations. If something is upsetting you, express it in a calm and direct way so that resolution is possible. Number 6, interpreting a different opinion as a personal attack. Disagreements are normal, But many people take differing opinions as personal attacks. Just because someone doesn't share your views doesn't mean they don't respect you. When we misinterpret differing perspectives as a challenge to our worth, it leads to hostility and defensiveness. A better approach? Separate opinions from personal identity. Instead of seeing disagreement as conflict, view it as an opportunity to learn. A calm discussion with mutual respect can strengthen relationships. Misinterpretation is a relationship killer, but usually it's completely avoidable. The next time you catch yourself assuming, overanalyzing, or reacting without all the facts, take a breath, ask for clarity, consider context, recognize your own biases, because more often than not, the story you're telling yourself about a situation is likely worse than the reality. If any of this sounds like you, congratulations, you're human. But being aware of these tendencies is the first step to fixing them. The better you get at catching your own misinterpretations, the better your relationships will be. So slow down, communicate clearly, and stop making everything harder than it needs to be. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click on the notification bell. Also, to learn more about many other interesting topics, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.